Hi everyone, it's the Assyrian priestess with you. I hope this finds you well. In today's reading, I'm going to do a you versus them tarot reading, and I'm going to use Kim Krans' Animal Spirit deck. So the first card out, what animal spirit guide represents us in the moment? I've already got 3 cards out, I just want one. The Earthworm. That is the novice card, someone who is new, learning something new, and someone who kind of like stays under the radar. So I don't know if that's a message for any one of you out there, is maybe use, what you're facing at the moment as a learning exercise. And keep it under the radar. Now the second card out, and a whole stack fell out, but the one that flipped open was the Bat. So the person that you're dealing with at the moment is carrying the Bat energy. Now this doesn't mean that this is your guide overall. This just means that in this moment, this person that you're thinking about, you in this dynamic represent an innocent party that is maybe curious or learning something for the first time. And I just got a message of like, be careful with that. Be careful about that, because this person has a darker energy, and it's the Bat energy. And by darker, I don't mean like they're out to get you or they're plotting something, or maybe they have a hidden agenda. What I mean by darker is the person that you're inquiring about is possibly going through a dark night of the soul. So there is a real sense of a rebirth for this person. They are facing some things that maybe they haven't faced in a while, or, they're looking for new life. Also, I don't know. I'm getting predator and prey. So let me know in the comments who you're dealing with. Let's pull another card, because this has gone to the dark side pretty quickly. You've got the Unicorn spirit energy, and they've got the Dragon. Okay, so both of you are very unique individuals. You especially are unique because you hold the unicorn energy. Unicorns are like mythical creatures that children believe in, are written about in mystical fairy tales and romantasy novels. They don't exist in this plane as far as I know, but correct me if I'm wrong. So someone sees you as a unicorn, as something very special, very different, very remarkable. Maybe they, maybe at first glance they thought you were maybe easy or prey. But with the second card, and we'll pull some tarot, I have the Crowley deck with me today. On second glance, I feel like they see you as someone really unique, and they actually really like your innocence and naivete. But they don't have that. They know what they're doing. This is not innocent for them. They have the dragon's eye. Now, the dragon is a very powerful energy, but this is a very old energy, very wise energy. And again, I'm seeing the difference here is you're showing up as really youthful and young and carefree, and maybe you've got some rose-colored glasses about this person, because you're like, well, everything's magical and everything's wonderful, and I just want to be a high vibe person, and that's beautiful. But I feel like this person coming out with the Bat and Dragon energy, this is a person who has a very dark energy, possibly sinister, but not necessarily. Just someone who has way more experience than you. And so in this scenario, you might think it's an innocent encounter, but perhaps for them it isn't. It was planned. or it was directed. I see that they're a highly intuitive person as well. Okay, lots of cards coming out. I just want one more each. Let's go with one more card each. So what energy are you displaying in this dynamic? That's actually a challenge. What energy are you displaying in this dynamic? It's actually a challenge. Now, a dragon, in mythological terms, was a creature that many people feared because it guarded the king's treasure, and people will try and, like, you know, put one over the dragon. So the dragon is a very discerning figure and possibly misunderstood. Maybe this person you're dealing with is misunderstood. Maybe things seem darker and scarier than they are. Like, you very easily come across as innocent and playful, but they come across as quite dark and sinister, but maybe they're misunderstood. I don't know. I have stopped trusting dark energies. Like, I think dark energies are dark energies. And so the last card out, we have the peacock for you and the cobra for them. So you have an earth, a spirit, and an air energy, peacock. So you have been noticed for your beauty, for your wealth. Yeah, you've really been noticed by this person. But this person has bat. So that's air energy too, spirit and fire, cobra. So they might be a fire sign. You might be an air sign. Alternatively, you might be an earth sign and they might be an air sign, or, you know, a mixture of the two. And then you both have the spirit cards, which is kind of interesting. So the cobra and the peacock, you know, I don't like this person's energy. I'm so sorry to say. I don't usually say that. I just get a really sinister vibe. Like, they have spotted you and they are going to strike. They are going to get what they want from you. And if you open up to that energy, it's going to really teach you a lesson that I don't know if you want to learn. Let's ask the tarot for some clarifiers. Okay, first card out, the Temperance card. So the first message out is, if you temper yourself and balance the scenario, then you're not at risk from this person. Let's just move the cards around. I hope you can see them. Let's put the dragon here and the cobra. So what advice do we have in dealing with this person? What advice can Spirit give us for dealing with this person? Four of Wands, Four of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Eight of Wands in the shadow, and the Three of Wands. So you've met this person for a reason. Things are going to move fast between you, maybe too fast. Eight of Wands can also be like moving really quickly and then burning out, especially if they're a fire sign, and especially if they like go for what they want. So you might find yourself in a place where you've encountered someone who has really noticed you for being different somehow. You've caught their attention for being different. Maybe you have a different kind of beauty or a different kind of aesthetic to the norm in your age group or in your, you know, the city that you live in. Or maybe just like the way that you interacted with them was different, because a lot of people, you know, present in a certain way, and you've presented in a different way that has caught their attention. Now, this person is going through a dark night of the soul. They're going through a rebirth. So maybe they're vulnerable themselves. Now, dragon, I really want to read the dragon card because I feel like I'm presenting dragon as being way more sinister than it is. And I think dragon's actually a very positive omen. Okay, so Kim Krans says that the dragon card, the keywords are seeing one's most true self and balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. Sorry, I'm just reading it to myself. The dragon represents the third chakra, the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel, this is the solar plexus, is what governs our ability to see, both inner and outer. So the dragon spirit here is from the third chakra, so very much about this person's power, about this person's sun. But also with the back card, this person is able to see on the surface and also behind the surface. So maybe they're kind of like a wizard type of energy or a psychic of some sorts, or or they have some sort of deep alchemical vibe. And then, so they're seeing something here. They're seeing something here. You're turning away. You're a unicorn. Like, you're special. Maybe you've known ever since you were a little one. And you know that you are noticed. You know that you have striking features like the peacock does, because everywhere you go, people sort of notice you as being quote unquote different. Maybe you're a different culture, or maybe you like I said before, have an aesthetic that is a bit out there, a bit interesting, and that sort of draws attraction and attention. Now, what's going to happen between you? Well, the wheel of fate is turning. So this is a fated connection here. You were meant to meet this person, and I think the dragon in this person is very blown away by meeting a fellow mythical creature. Because let's not forget, unicorn and dragons are actually both mythic. We don't encounter them in everyday life. So they might see some sort of kindred spirit with you. Then we have the 4 and 4. So there's a sense of balance here. 4 of fire, 4 of water, with a temperance in the middle. So maybe there's like a very raging, passionate connection here. Maybe your innocent, happy-go-lucky charm is very drawn to their dark, brooding energy. And by dark, again, I mean like psychic, alchemical, maybe they're interested in the occult. I want to read what the cobra says. The cobra is pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. Okay, so the cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, and ever loving. If you were a student, what are you ready to learn? And Kim Krans says, remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So when in balance, a cobra is a student of life, is humble and wise, and when they're out of balance, they are a know-it-all, egotistic person. So maybe you've encountered a fire sign who is a bit of a know-it-all, likes to share their knowledge, likes to maybe like tell you how it is, which would be them out of balance. Maybe as well, this person that you've encountered kind of like don't want to say is bored, but maybe they're a bit bored. Like maybe their life is really cozy. Like the Four of Cups, Crowley calls the luxury card, which I really like. It's the indolent person. So even in the traditional Rider-Waite, the Four of Cups is a person relaxing under a tree and just sort of idly passing the afternoon away, and the hand of God offers them a fourth cup, and they don't even know if they really want it because they've got everything they want. That's the Four of Cups. It's this like sort of lethargic, idle, languid kind of feeling. And you come in with Four of Fire, completion, and it sort of mimics the Wheel of Fortune here. So you come in with this dynamic, interesting energy, and this person who's maybe been in a dark night of the soul or been pausing and watching and waiting for someone like you to turn up so that they can strike, you come in with the fire and they're like, wow, I want some of this. And there is a magnetic, fiery energy between you. Is it for good or is it for evil? So for you, I have the Hermit card. Maybe you're a Virgo. Or maybe you're just a bit of an introvert. Maybe you don't really want to meet anybody right now. Like I said, both the unicorn and the peacock are looking away. Even the hermit's looking in that same direction. You are not looking at this person. And they come in with the Queen of Swords. Again, their energy is a bit more directive, a bit more striking. It's a very compelling energy. It's like, oh my gosh, this is an energy you cannot ignore. Okay, you're coming up with a Hierophant. So maybe you've met them at work, maybe it's institutional, and they're coming in hot. Far out. Who is this? Oh, way too many cards. So any final message from the tarot? We have the Universe card. A few major arcana here. Temperance, Fortune, Hierophant, and Universe, which is the World card. Ten of Swords, Ruin, and the Seven of Wands with a Chariot underneath. So I see you pushing this person back. Their energy is way too intense. They're coming in hot. They're coming in fast. We had the Eight of Wands in the shadow in the primary pool. You're doing really well. You're really comfortable and cozy, and you didn't want to meet someone like this, but they've shown up. And they're coming in really hot. I also kind of feel like their energy could be very destructive. It could burn you out. I see burnout energy. If it's not complete and direct sabotage. Is this person worth pursuing? Is this person worth pursuing? Ten of Pentacles and the Empress with the Ace in the middle. This is a very intense energy. And on the surface, it seems good. Yeah, I don't know what sort of collaboration you're going to have here. What kind of meeting you're going to have. The Ten of Swords can also be the beginning of an undoing for you. So a lot of people read the Ten of Swords as the last in the suit. So we start from the Ace and we finish at the 10. Whereas I recently heard from the Esoteric Cross, so shout out to Will, an amazing channel, please go check them out. I am not affiliated with that person, but Will at the Esoteric Cross suggested that the Ten of Swords should be read as the first card in that suit, and we descend from the 10. So you're both meeting each other, and you're both like, you've been through life. You've both got 10 swords of life in your story, which swords are like all of the experiences, painful experiences that we've endured. So when you get to a certain point in life, some earlier than others, you actually accumulate a series of stories that sort of get stuck into you like 10 of Swords. And the Esoteric Cross suggests that our job is to pull them out one by one. So maybe the two of you are meeting, and your job, the lesson, the task at hand is actually not for any other purpose except for healing yourselves by pulling out all these swords that you've just kept sort of tattooed on your body, is the message I'm getting, because we follow with the Ace of Cups. So while the energy may seem really intense, I feel like the real reason you've met is probably to do some healing work with each other. So be careful of like crossing the line. Be careful of crossing boundaries too quick, too soon. This person's going to want to, because they're a very confident, passionate, fast-moving, probably a fire sign, maybe a water sign, but water signs generally don't move fast in my opinion. Air and fire do. And you're going to want to take things slow. You're going to want to learn from this person, but learn from the beginner's mind. I think there is really the potential for something magical between you because of the unicorn and the dragon. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does this resonate? Have you met someone recently? And yeah, I'd love to know the story. Otherwise, I will ask you for a like, a share, a subscribe. It all means so, so much. But I will leave you, as always, with my love and courage. Until we meet again. Bye for now.